Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my out-of-box review for the 1/100 scale Full Mechanics Gundam Bael. So overall, same thing with the high grade. Building this kit was not really anything too new. So I mean, if you've built any of the other kind of 1/100 scale Gundams, especially like the Gundam Barbatos or Barbatos Lupus, then you're going to have a pretty good idea of what to expect with this kit. It's going to be all very similar. You just build the frame, which is actually the same frame as the original Gundam Barbatos Lupus, or Gundam Barbatos, I should say, with just a couple of differences there. And then you're just putting all the armor on the outside of that, and then the armor parts, armor separation, again, it's going to be all very similar to other Gundams in the line. So nothing really too crazy or too exciting about that. We do, of course, have that nice part there in the shoulder you're seeing coming around now, that pink part inside the shoulder that is going to be nice for just giving you that color separation there in the shoulder. Also, that color separated part on the front of the shoulder for that kind of symbol there on the front of the shoulder is actually a color separated part. The blue part fits inside the shoulder there, which is interesting. I think that's cool if you want to have that. If you don't want to have that, it just makes more work for you that you have to actually just putty that in and sand that. It shouldn't be too much work, but it would have been nice. I think if that was just a sticker, or of course a water slide decal would be best, but the Bandai wouldn't give us that. Anyway, what they probably would give us is just a sticker like they did with the high grade. I think that would have been fine for this. I think like it's always nice to have more part separation, but that was just kind of a little bit unnecessary, I think. For people who don't want that, it's just more work. But anyway, that's just a small complaint, I suppose. There are a lot of just kind of not really all that much, I guess, good and bad points of this kit. For the most part, it's going to be very similar to the high grade, just a little bit better in terms of the details and part separation. Just to speak a little bit more on some of the stickers and the differences from the high grade, differences and similarities. For this one, the eyes are actual molded parts and not stickers. The eyes are so tiny though in there. As you can see, let me just bring in the high grade here. You can see like with the high grade, it's much more, you can see the eyes much more visibly. With the 1/100 scale, they're like deep in there, really hard to see, really tiny. But I like that, I like the look for that in this case. But here on the ends of the V-fin, that blue there is just stickers. So once again, like the high grade, we just have blue stickers that wrap around the end there. Unfortunate, like I mentioned in the shoulder parts, here that's an actual piece. On the high grade, that's a sticker. Here on the high grade, there's no sticker or any dark piece for this. This is just all one solid white piece. In this kit, we do have some color separation there, with the center part being that darker colored plastic. On the front of the crotch, on the high grade, this is a sticker. On the 1/100 scale, this is also a sticker, that little symbol there on the crotch, so the same. And then the same thing with the high grade, blue stickers here for the back of the legs. I really think that they maybe could have made that so that that's a separate blue part. I think definitely could have been possible, but again, it's the same thing as the high grade. And I'm just now realizing that these wings are on backwards, that the blue part should actually be facing the front. Sorry about that. But anyway, here on the kit, on the high grade, that's just like one flat black sticker that you place underneath that, and then you stick this sticker up here for that yellow and black at the top. On the 1/100 scale, the yellow part is an actual sticker, an actual part, so we have that yellow piece there, but no black to go inside of there. And then here, that's actually two raised details inside of there, so it's not just one sticker, it's two tiny little black stickers you stick on there and then stick this on top. That one, I think also they could have made like an actual dark like gray plastic piece to go inside of there, but it's not bad anyway, very easy to just paint that, so not a big problem at all. In terms of the articulation, I mean, the Gundam, it's all the same articulation you've come to expect, so we won't really get too much into that. One thing that is nice, I guess, like on the high grade, these were stickers, these black little notches here on the top of the chest, front of the chest, and the front of the legs. In this case, though, they're all actual parts, so that's good. Here on the front skirts as well, you get a little bit of gray just poking through that kind of vent section there in the front of the skirt. But like I said, the articulation is mostly the same, so we'll just talk mostly briefly about the articulation of the backpack. They're going to rotate there, move up and down there, rotate here, move up and down there. It's actually 2 points of articulation here. This part at the top will also rotate back and forth. It doesn't move up and down at all, it just rotates on there. In the wing part, this vent part on the bottom will move back and forth like that, and then this part will move up and down. This actually does have a gray piece that fits inside of there, so that's nice. On the HG kit, that's just hollow, so this looks a little bit nicer there. It looks that that's actually like filled in with a piece, small as it may be. So that's pretty much it. And then here for the sword holder on the back of the skirt, this part folds out, and then we just have this part on the end just on a ball joint, so that can move around there, can rotate that, and then these swords will just pull out of here like so. So nice. These are, I feel like, a little bit just kind of more bulky. Just if you compare them, again, I'll just compare these quickly to the high grade. The high grade ones seem more long in terms of like their proportions. I would have to actually measure it, but just in terms of the proportions, you can see they are a little bit different. You can see like this handle part is definitely different on this 100 scale. That gray part extends a lot farther onto the blade, where on this shorter one, it's just shorter like that. So yeah, there are going to be some differences in just the overall design and proportions just between the 100 scale and the HG. That's been the case for all of them. Personally, I've always preferred the 100 scale. I think the proportions are better, and I still think that in the case of this kit as well. I think overall just the kind of shape of everything, the proportions, and again, especially in the legs and especially in the head in this case too. The head looks much better on the 100 scale. I have to say, like I said, the eyes are set more deeply in there, and just kind of the shape just kind of captures the shape of the Bael's head better than the HG did. So overall, between the two, I would definitely still recommend the 100 scale kit. In terms of the weapons and accessories and stuff for this kit, as you saw, the swords just mounted there onto it. I have those there. You can take this whole thing off, of course, if we can just pull this off like that, and then you could then attach this onto some other kit or something if you wanted. But it's only weapons there, so relatively simple. But we do also have some hand options. These hands that are on the kit are the kind that have, like with the Gundam Vidar, that had the wrist where you can bend and rotate that at the wrist. We do also just get a regular set of holding hands, so these ones don't have any articulation in the wrist. They're just basic holding hands, and we have covers for them and everything, so you can use those if you want. And then we have our set of open hands, these terrible 100 scale IBO Gundam open hands that are just lifeless and worthless. And then because this is the first run version, we did also get our action base. Again, this is the same action base that originally came with the Master Grade Gundam Fenice Renashida. So it's a really nice action base. Unfortunately, it's molded in like pearl white, which is ugly, but we get that, and then we also get a couple of these nice Gjallarhorn stickers you can use for that or for whatever else if you want. So at least we get this. Unfortunately, the connection piece is still just this connection piece that's just kind of annoying to use. Would have been nice if they would have made a more proper connection piece, but that is just how it goes. So once again, here is just that sticker sheet. I just want to show you guys that we did also have all these stickers, the bronze ones, kind of goldish ones that go on the inner frame. I didn't bother putting those on in this case. I usually do, but just they're all covered. The only ones that you can ever see are these ones that go like on the hip frame there, the top of the leg. And it's like from certain angles, sometimes you can barely catch a glimpse of those, but pretty much not. So I just didn't really bother in this case. So yeah. Just the two for the V-fin, two for the back of the legs, one for the crotch part, and then these little black stickers for the vents in the backpack. So here's just a look at the 100 scale and the HG side by side. I think you probably need like a better like full photo set or something would be better, like showing them like exactly side by side for different areas and different parts, so you guys can really get a proper idea of what's different. But at least just here you can get the general idea of just kind of generally how they're going to look. Definitely quite a bit different. You can see like kind of interesting that the part for the back of the legs, the back of the calf there, is almost like wider on the HG, which is 1/44 scale, than on the 100 scale. It's on the 100 scale, that part on the back of the leg is definitely much more narrow. So there's a lot of really small little differences like that between the two. So you definitely have to kind of, I guess, think about which proportions appeal more to you. Like I said, I usually always prefer the 100 scale proportions, and the same thing with this kit as well. Another thing you'll notice, one big difference in terms of just missing color apps is the part there in the wings between like the main thruster, big part of the wing, and the backpack. On the 100 scale, that's white. On the HG, that's just in that dark gray color. It's supposed to be white, so that's more accurate on the 100 scale. really easy enough to just paint that part. Obviously, if you're just going to be painting the whole kit, you can paint everything just fine, not going to be a problem. But if you really want color accuracy just straight out of the box, of course the 1/100 scale is also going to be better in that case as well. So in terms of like negatives of this kit, it really doesn't have any like that are really worth noting. I mean, because the articulation is pretty good. Weight issues, obviously not really going to have any weight issues at all. I think like really the only weight issues that this kit might have is because the legs are kind of heavy, especially because those really huge shoes. Like doing a pose like this, you might have like the legs actually drooping down if you're trying to keep them in like a really wide stance like this. Obviously you're not going to have any weight issues at all holding those swords. In terms of seam lines, there are seam lines on the top of the shoulders. Those should be pretty easy to knock out. It's kind of a little bit disappointing actually, to be honest. They didn't design those shoulders in a way that there wouldn't be a seam line going across the top. That's very high grade-esque. As far as the rest of the kit though, there's pretty much, I don't think really any seam lines are really anywhere else except for there. So it shouldn't be too bad just to knock those out. And then I guess like on like the long part of the wing, the end like really long white part on the wings, there's kind of a seam line there. If you want to get rid of that, if you want to count that, I guess that could also be. But overall, just really nice kit. You just have to be a fan of the design, which I know for a lot of people, like the all white with just the little drops of blue here and there is a little bit plain for some people. There is obviously a lot of detail on this kit. Of course, panel lining this kit would really help to break up a lot of that space. With it being white, the best thing to do would be to use gray, not black. Black will give you a really dark contrast. If that's what you want, then go for it. But usually gray tends to look better on white, or brown or something if you wanted to have it more weathered or something, I suppose. But definitely panel lining this kit will help a lot. As you guys know, I don't panel line these kits just for doing these out-of-box reviews, just because it just takes time, and the point is to give you guys a look of how the kit is going to look just straight out of the box without doing anything extra to it. So that's why I don't, but I'm sure most of you guys probably know that. Anyway, so overall, I really don't think that they really could have improved this kit out too much. I think as far as the 1/100 scale, like full mechanics version of this kit goes, this does everything that it's supposed to. Alright, so that's pretty much it. I mean, there's really not a whole lot to go over with this kit. It's relatively simple. I mean, pretty simple design overall. In terms of weapon options, it's only got the 2 swords. That some people may like that or may not. For me, I think it's okay, but more weapon options is always nice. But then again, like you get a kit with like a bunch of different weapon options, then when you're actually displaying it, you can only use, you have to choose this. Bandai makes it really easy for you. At least you don't have to choose which weapons you want to use. You only get one choice. And so take that and however you want to think about that. In this case, I think it's fine. I like this kit overall. I like this a lot more than the high grade. When I built the high grade, I was just kind of like, yeah, it wasn't really all that cool, but I definitely like the look of this one a lot more. So I'm really quite happy with this kit. It's a really nice one. So again, just thank you to MindFenix Hobby Store as always for sending me this kit to check out and share that with you guys. It's a cool one for sure. For those people who are going to be filling up all of the comments section, talking about the 1/100 scale line, if we're ever going to get a 1/100 scale Kimaris Vidar or a Gushim Remake Full City. As far as we know from Bandai, this is the last of the 1/100 scale full mechanics line. So if you were holding out for any other designs, it's just not going to happen as far as we know, unless Bandai changes that, but I find that probably very unlikely. Same thing goes for master grades. Until we get any announcement of any sort of Iron Blood Orphans master grade, I really wouldn't hold out too much hope for that. This seems to be the route they're going for making 1/100 scale Iron Blood Orphans kits, just the ones we've got here in the 1/100 scale line and the full mechanics line. Other than that, I really don't think that they're going to do a master grade. Possibly, maybe sometime later a master grade Barbatos, but yeah, again, I mean, if you're wanting one of these kits in 1/100 scale and it's available in the 1/100 or just the full mechanics line, I would say just get that. You're going to be waiting a long time, if not forever, for Bandai to ever make a master grade of them. So again, could totally be wrong about that, but that's just what I think, and just from my experience. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you have any other questions or comments, just leave those down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.